Hi, Dr. Bill here again. Welcome back to our video blog post series and the final in our series. At this stage, there may be more another time, but this is number 6 and maybe the final one that we do on Dr. Bernie Siegel's work that he has been doing for many, many years. And of course, his many books, in particular the Love, Medicine and Miracles book, which I highly recommend you all get, whether you're sick, well or not, because I think it's a brilliant book and it has so much useful information in there that we can all use. So when I read it, I realized that it was something that I could use personally in my own life. It's something I could actually use in my clinic also, and it was something that I can, a message that I'm sharing with you now. So, as we did before, I want to read to you a quote from the book, and the text accompanies this video, so you can read along with me if you wish, which actually helps you to get it a little bit better. As German poet Rainer Maria Rilke once wrote in reference to his own efforts to cheer up a young writer, and then he quotes the German poet, "Do not believe that he who seeks to comfort you now lives untroubled among the simple and quiet words that sometimes do you good. His life has much difficulty and sadness, and remains far behind yours. Were it otherwise, he would never have been able to find those words." So you can ponder that and get your own meaning from it, but let me tell you how that touches me and what it says to me. I'll share that with you, and maybe that will help you to get something more out of it yourself. What he's saying basically is that this famous poet had gone through a lot of trials and difficulties in his own life, and because of that, he was able to give good advice to somebody who was younger and perhaps less experienced than himself. So what's the message there? Well, as I said, there's probably more than one, but let me give you the part of the message that I got from it. Let me just say, I'm deliberating whether to mention this because it's a little bit negative, but hopefully you'll take it because it's meant to have a positive end. I know someone who's a friend of mine, and he's very intelligent, has a great mind, and is very apt to give advice on just about any subject. Now, he's never been married, and he's never had children. But he's quite happy to give you advice on marriage and on children, which I think is kind of interesting. You can say why I think it's funny. So he may have some good advice to give, but who do you think will give you the most valuable advice? Someone who's been married, maybe even more than once, and somebody has children, maybe even a number of children. I'm not putting my hand up there because I'll get myself in trouble. So, who do you think is more likely to give you the best advice? I also had a good friend of mine who, again, was quite apt to give advice on a lot of things. And this man his health was probably as bad as anyone I've ever met. He had so many problems with him. He's passed away now, and he couldn't work, or he didn't work. he had no money. He was always getting help from others to survive. He did have a family, and so again, and he used to say to me, when I said things, he said, nobody seems to take any notice of me. Nobody seems to be interested in what I have to say. And I thought to myself, well, there's a reason for that. Okay, so what I'm getting at is, if we talked about previously about Bernie Siegel's classification of the different categories of patients, 15 to 20% want to die, 60 to 70% just want somebody else to do it for them, they won't take responsibility, 15 to 20% will take responsibility, they're the fighters, they will do something about it themselves. So who do you think you should go to for advice when you have a particular need? Obviously, the 15 to 20% of people that are the fighters, that are what Bernie Siegel calls the exception to the rule, because they have a different mindset, they have a different way of looking at things, and you can learn a lot from people like that. You can also learn a lot from people who've already been through a lot in their life. They've already either been through something that you're going through. They've had that experience, that old Indian proverb about never judge a man till you walk a mile in his moccasins, something like that anyway. And so I know that I have a friend of mine, dear friend, and his wife is dying with cancer. And she's had this for a long time. She's been fighting it for a long time. And one day I'm not particularly close to her, but one day I just saw her and I just went up and I was prompted just to go give her a hug. And I didn't really say anything. I think I might have said something like, I know how you feel. And that's all I did, and we were both in tears. And later on, he said to me, that had a profound effect on my wife. I said, really? Why? I said, I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. He said, no, he said, just she knew that you knew how she felt. And that's true, I did. Because, I've been there, maybe not exactly the same, but in a similar way. And so we can be in two positions. We can seek out those people that we feel are the best kind of people to get help and guidance from, because of the reasons I've just mentioned. And also we need to be aware that of all the trials and difficulties and tragedies we go through, it enables us to better help others. And as we express our love for them by reaching out to them and showing that we care, that we understand, and that we empathize, both parties are blessed and strengthened. And so, on that note, I want to end this series and remind you that the title of the book, and really the title of this series, is Love, Medicine and Miracles, and how they all fit in together. So I trust that you will apply the information that I've given to you so we can all make ourselves and the world much better. And I'll leave this with you. Signing off. See you soon. Dr. Bill, signing off. Bye.